Amity, what are you doing right now? Why haven't you arrived at the workplace yet? I told you a million times that you couldn't take today off. How dare you disobey my commands? You're in a lot of trouble right now. Come to the office immediately away before I explode. Right now, I'm going to start counting down. You'd best show up in 30 minutes or I'll have to escalate your punishment. If you wish to continue working here, I recommend you listen to my advice and come over right now. Amity! Are you sure? Are you going to ignore me? Do you really care if I cut your pay, you useless jerk? I told you I'd begun the countdown. Why are you disregarding all of these signals? You have no right to disobey your boss. I can't believe you're acting like this right now. Stop being such a conceited jerk and tell me what the hell is going on.
Egan, what's up? What exactly is going on? You've sent me numerous texts seemingly out of nowhere.
You finally respond! It took you far too long. What are you doing right now?
I'm truly sorry. I had no time to check my phone. Is there a problem?
Did you just ask me if there's something wrong? Obviously, something is wrong. Did you disregard my messages? I was wondering why you decided to skip work today.
There's a reason for this. My mom died the night before yesterday. I'm taking some time off to think about it all and plan her burial. I had already informed Lonnie of the situation, and she had granted me permission to take some time off. Did the message fail to reach you?
Did you do it? Nothing has been spoken about it. Stop making excuses and simply show up to work.
I also informed our department's group chat of my absence. If you need proof, the message was sent at 7:55 a.m.
Why should I have to check my phone at this hour? You should have mentioned that earlier.
So, I'm sorry you missed the notification concerning my absence. I won't be able to get to work today anyway. I'm currently not in our office. I should be able to return by the end of next week. I apologize for taking a whole week off, but I will try to make up for it when I return. I want to hold a video meeting with the appropriate personnel at 10 a.m. today to explain which tasks must be taken over while I'm away. This week has a few critical deadlines, so I'll make sure to explain everything in depth.
What do you mean? That will not be doable. I have some extra tasks for you to complete today.
What is the reason for this? I had already checked with Lonnie, and she had requested that I make the video call.
That's not what I'm referring to. I had planned to have you generate some documents for a tech business with whom we have been in discussions. If you take the day off today, it means I'll have to create the documentation. I can't believe you're going to force me to do this.
I'm sorry, but none of my projects involve any technology businesses. Others in the department, I'm sure, are more fit for that position.
Stop babbling! You do what I instruct you to do. You're really starting to irritate me now. How dare you speak back to me in this manner? Where have your manners gone? I've squandered so much of my valuable time texting you. I'm tired of hearing your excuses. Would you please hurry and get to work?
Sorry, but that's simply not doable. As I previously stated, I am currently preoccupied with matters other than my employment. I have to say, goodbye, now. I'll be really busy from now on, so I may be unable to respond.
Wait! We're not done chatting yet. You must not disregard me. I'll make you pay for this.
Good day, Egan. I apologize for missing work for a week. My mother's funeral is concluded, and I am returning to work today. Do you have any idea what this mess on my desk is?
What do you mean? I don't know. Perhaps it was left as a present for you?
My desk has been adorned with a bouquet of black roses. It reminds me of a golf music video. Is this a nasty joke? Why would somebody do something like this?
That's unfortunate. I'm curious who would do anything like that. I doubt it was someone from this office.
Stop attempting to appear innocent. I already knew it was you.
What? Someone has already given it away?
I heard you were upset with Kiva for attempting to clean it up.
What's the deal with everyone? Why can't they just shut up?
What is your issue? What you did was extremely offensive to me. I'm grieving the loss of my mother. That's a disaster.
Close your mouth. Stop attempting to make me appear terrible when you're the one who unexpectedly took a week off.
Lonnie gave me permission because it was for some crucial personal concerns.
So you took some time off for personal reasons? I believe I misunderstood something. I assumed you didn't show up to work because you had died. That's why I gave you some black flowers.
I told you I was going to my mother's funeral. Take a look at our last week's text messages.
But didn't I tell you to come to work anyway? You should cease prioritizing your personal life over your professional life. I'm your boss, and you should obey every command I issue. Even though I told you to come to work last week, you didn't show up. That meant you died along with your mother, I assumed. You appear to be alive and well right now, which implies you missed a week of work for no apparent reason. I'm firing you for taking a week off.
You're just my supervisor. You do not have the authority to fire me.
I'm actually good friends with the manager of the Human Resources Department. In fact, if you catch my drift, we may be more than just buddies. I can simply get you fired if I want to. All I have to do is go directly to her. You'll be fired before you can say dead mother's funeral.
Even the human resources manager cannot fire an employee arbitrarily. I don't believe you have any reason to fire me. And firing me without pay is immoral and might generate a major problem for the organization.
Please, just shut up. Stop making stuff up. If firing you is going to be difficult, you should simply resign.
What would make me do something like that? It would be completely illogical.
Oh, I just had an idea for why you should be fired. Because of you, those paperwork that required to be generated for that tech business have yet to be finalized.
That is not at all my responsibility. It's your responsibility, and you should have finished it on your own. Perhaps it's your fault for leaving it till the last minute and attempting to impose it on me.
It's not my fault. I assigned you the work, and you completely ignored it. You didn't even try to finish the docs. You've just returned from a week's vacation, which is completely inappropriate. Our company would have lost an essential business partner if I hadn't covered for you and started working on the documentation. We might have lost $30,000 in potential revenue. You must recognize that you made a major error and accept responsibility for it. Inform Lonnie that it is your fault and that you intend to retire as a result.
You're being ridiculous. I'm so sick of having to deal with you. Okay, I'll do as you request. I've decided to leave the company.
Oh, you finally decided to obey my commands. It's time to apologize as well.
No, I will not apologize because I did nothing wrong.
What did you just say?
I'm leaving because of the poisonous work atmosphere I've been subjected to. I can't believe you turned my mother's death into a joke. It was a terrible flavor. Even if it was a joke, you went gone too far with it. I heard that some of our coworkers thought your prank was hilarious. I believe that leaving a location like this would be healthier for my mental health.
Why don't I make you a small gravestone as well? It could be a parting present. I'll give it to you for free because you've been a long-term customer of ours.
That isn't necessary.
Oh, really? I'm sure it'd look lovely with your flowers. Well, now that I know you're going to resign, I don't mind what you say to me. You always got on my nerves and irritated me. Knowing I don't have to see you anymore lifts a great weight off my shoulders.
I had no idea you had such strong feelings for me. Is there any particular reason you found me irritating?
I didn't like how Lonnie kept talking to you. I'm not sure what a youngster like you did to become so friendly with Lonnie. Maybe you bribed her or something, but I know you were just attempting to obtain a promotion that you didn't deserve.
Now I understand. You were merely envious of me. I admired Lonnie and talked to her frequently in order to learn from her.
I don't care what you say any longer. None of that matters because you're leaving regardless. Right now, I can't quit smiling. I believe that my moment has come.
I would quit being so arrogant if I were you. Try to be more cautious in your actions and words.
What do you mean? Stop making me worry because you're envious of me.
So, I'm going to formally quit and leave right now. Then you keep doing what you believe is best for you.
That's fantastic. Don't even think about trying to return. Amity, please stop ignoring my phone calls. Would you please just pick up? I must speak with you immediately. Amity, I insist that you pick up your phone right now.
What is the problem? One phone call is all that is required. Stop bothering me.
What's the matter with you? What have you done, and what have you said about me to Lonnie? Lonnie came to see me after you resigned and was furious. She summoned me to her office, then yelled at me for an hour. She wants me to apologize to you for everything that has transpired. What were your words to her?
I see. I simply told her why I had decided to resign. What's the problem with that?
I'm furious because you withheld secrets from me. Mayor Limited's current CEO is your brother. They are our most essential commercial partner.
He certainly is. What's the point of telling me something I already know? I genuinely don't want to talk to you.
Isn't your late mother the founding CEO of that company? Why didn't you tell me?
I didn't feel compelled to discuss it. In fact, I felt it may cause them some much-needed workplace drama, so I opted to keep it all a secret. That is, until I announced my mother's death in the department's group chat.
I didn't have time to check the group chat, therefore I was unaware of it. I would not have done what I did to you if I had known about it.
It's entirely your responsibility for failing to check the group chat. Perhaps you should pay closer attention the next time. In any case, what you did was wrong. You should never make light of someone's death, regardless of who it is.
It was merely a joke. There will be no hard feelings, you understand.
Lonnie said you were also invited to my mother's funeral, correct? Many of her business partners' executives, including CEOs, were invited to her funeral. You turned down the invitation since you didn't realize it was for the burial of our most significant business partner's CEO.
It was not made clear to me that it was for the CEO. I assumed it was for one of their executives or something. I assumed it would be a waste of time.
Well, I'm delighted you didn't show up. The funeral was planned for those who truly cared about her. She was quite enthusiastic about her profession, and all of her business partners with whom she had a connection showed there, so that's all that matters. I don't care if you don't show up.
That's fantastic news! I guess I'll be forgiven then. What a relief! Could you tell Lonnie you're not upset about what I did to you?
Oh, don't get too excited just yet. You might get some more.
What precisely do you mean?
I'm not going to pursue this with you any further. Lonnie, on the other hand, is unlikely to take your joking about my mother's burial and laying black roses on my desk lightly. I heard she intends to penalize you and the other employees who found your prank amusing.
What did you just say? Is she really going to punish me for such a small joke?
It appears to be so. This incident compelled the Human Resources Department to do a more complete investigation into you to determine whether you were truly qualified for your position. It appears that they discovered numerous other issues with your behavior and the way you operate the department. I'm sure there will be other consequences.
What do you mean? This is getting insane.
I hear you've been bragging about how close you are to the human resources manager. You've used it as a threat at times, haven't you?
Well, I thought that was a wonderful approach to maintain some order within the company.
Some of our coworkers believed your threats and were afraid they would be fired. It's also been producing some uncertainty and unwelcome rumors within the organization. The human resources manager claims she has no relationship with you. Except you've been bothering her recently.
It's because she's quite hot and I like her. That's why I told folks we were really close.
So go sell everything to the compliance officer and Lonnie. There's no need to tell me anything else. I'm not interested. I'm leaving at the end of this month after I've used up all of my paid vacation time.
Are you sure you're not going to return?
Lonnie implored me to reconsider and return to work if feasible. I told her about all of our department's problems. I emphasized that the most serious issue is your bullying and harassment of subordinates. I also mentioned that my brother is beginning to wonder whether he should continue to be a business partner with a company that employs people like you. Lonnie ultimately gave up trying to persuade me to stay and told me she would do her best to remedy all of the difficulties. I'll start working as a department manager at my brother's company next month.
What did you just say? Are you going to be a manager right away?
I'm guessing I'll be in charge of this company's account starting next month. If we decide to continue doing business with you.
That cannot be correct.
My brother needs to talk to me right now, so I need to hurry going.
Please wait a moment. I certainly didn't intend for things to turn out this way. After all, it was just a joke. Could you please forgive me and assure Lonnie that I did nothing wrong? Amity, hello! Stop avoiding me! Please, Amity! I beseech you! Please try to persuade Lonnie to lessen my punishment as much as possible. Hello, Amity, why don't you respond to me? I haven't received any red receipts.
Egan was quickly downgraded to a normal employee. He was transferred to a separate department with no female coworkers. He barely avoided being sacked. He stalked and harassed the human resources manager, and she decided to leave the company because she didn't feel safe. After learning of this, Egan appeared despondent. He ended up not smiling when he moved to his new department. It didn't take long for him to start generating problems at his new job. When one of his coworkers' wives stopped by a happy hour one Friday, he apparently fell in love with her. He ended up pestering his coworker by insisting on his wife's presence at all times and requesting her phone number. This was the final draw, and he was fired from the company immediately. He tried to beg pardon, but he was unable to reclaim his position. I'm not sure what occurred next to him. But his reputation has been completely wrecked, and I'm sure he'll have a difficult time finding another work in this industry.
Hey Ivy. We need to talk. There is something really important.
Why you're so serious? Oki, tell me what's wrong.
I'll get straight to the point. I want a divorce.
What? Where is this coming from all of a sudden? To be honest, it doesn't sound like there's much to talk about. It seems like you've made up your mind already.
I really didn't expect you to respond so fast. Aren't you supposed to be working? I mean, I knew your job isn't all that hard, but I don't know you have a lot of free time to sit around on your phone. I guess you're not exactly suited for anything more difficult. But it's still a job. You should be taking it more seriously instead of being on your phone all the time.
Wait a second. I think I'm a little lost. Where is all this coming from? You just all of a sudden announced that you want to get a divorce. I think that would have caught anyone off guard. And then you add insult to injury by attacking my job? Do you even have any idea what I actually do? I'm actually really busy today. I just happened to see the notification from your text pop up on my phone. Well, I felt like my husband wanting a divorce was a good reason to stop what I was doing and respond. Do you have any more questions or insults at my job? Or can we go back to talking about the whole divorce thing?
Okay. I didn't know you get so defensive about your job. It's exactly this attitude that has ruined our marriage. And it is the biggest reason I want you out of my life altogether. This is a serious conversation. You can't just ignore me. Don't you have anything to say?
You know what? If a divorce is what you really want, then that's fine by me. Our marriage has been falling apart for a long time. It doesn't really make a difference to my life at this point. Honestly, I had a feeling it would come down to this sooner or later.
What? You're not upset at all. I'm your husband and you're just gonna shrug off a divorce like it's not a big deal? You should know you won't be able to survive without me. Don't act like this will have no effect on you.
I think I'll get along. It's just fine. I work hard to make my own money. It's not like I'm a housewife that's entirely dependent on you.
That's not exactly the truth though. I know you have a job. But it doesn't really pay enough for you to live on your own.
Are you sure about that? Maybe I don't make as much as you do.
Stop it. There's no point in arguing about this. I want a divorce and your lifestyle is gonna take a hit for it. Just admit it.
You make around $60,000 a year, right?
About that, yeah. I doubt that if you can earn that much however hard you try.
Right, it's a good salary for early in your career. But it's not that much. I'm currently making around $50,000 a year. I think that's okay for me though.
What? Come on, Ivy. Don't try and lie to me.
I'm not lying, but your surprise says a lot about how much you paid attention to me in our marriage. Anyway, I'm not worried about making it all my own. I may not exactly get to live in luxury, but it'll be more than enough to get by well.
But you'll still have to make some sacrifices.
You're probably right, but that's okay too. Anyway, if you're done trying and failing to make me feel worthless, did you have anything else to say about a divorce? We absolutely need to discuss that. But I can't really talk much during work. I've been away long enough. I'll see you at home later. Let's talk more then. That way we'll be able to get everything out in the open at once. Or is there something urgent that needs to be taken care of at this minute?
Just stop. There's nothing to talk about. I want a divorce. And I want you to go away. You have until the end of today to get out of the house, got it?
You want me out today?
Yes, today.
Don't even try argue it beforehand.
It's funny, Ivy. You were so smug about your $50K just a minute ago. So you shouldn't have a problem getting out of my house by the end of the day. You have more than enough money, right? Just get your stuff and get out. I don't want to see your face any more minute.
I think I know what's happening. There's something else going on here? Isn't there something that means you need me out of the way as soon as possible?
Look, you're grasping at straws here. Not feeling so strong now? What happened to all your confidence? In all seriousness, I'm sorry for the trouble. But you really do need to leave immediately. I'm getting married again and I need you out so that my new wife can move in.
Yeah, here it is. This is a real problem, right? So who's lying now? I don't know what reality you think you're living in. But that's just not happening. Just tell your imaginary girlfriend to pick a different day to move in.
Imaginary? Have you really not figured it out yet?
Figured out what?
I want a divorce because I'm in love with someone else. She just told me she's pregnant this morning and I want to do the right thing, to put it frankly. You are in the way of our happiness. So like I said, I need you out immediately.
Well, thank you for telling me now. I understand the situation.
What? Just like that? You don't have anything else to say?
Well, just that today is simply not possible. You're gonna have to wait until I find somewhere else to move. I'll move as soon as I can. But it could be a few weeks.
No, absolutely not. You'll be out of my house and out of my life today. Today. Don't you get it? You should consider it punishment for being so arrogant and condescending all the time. This is the last time I'll say it. You need to be out of my house now.
So that we're clear and everything is on the table. You do understand the position that you're in, right?
What is that supposed to mean? The only thing that needs to be understood is that I am still your husband. You'll do as I say.
Ethan, it doesn't really work like that. I'm not sure what your plan was, but you just exposed your own infidelity to your wife. You called me arrogant, but I think you need to do a little self-reflection and punishment. Let's talk about punishment. Let's talk about what's to happen to you now that you've decided to impregnate some random woman and kick your faithful wife out.
Excuse me? What exactly is that supposed to mean? Do you think that you somehow have the right to talk back to me like that? There is no evidence whatsoever that I had an affair. But there was plenty that you have been a terrible wife.
No, that's not true at all. I have plenty of evidence of your affair.
What? No, that's not possible. You're just bluffing.
Listen, Ethan. You literally just confessed to your affair in your texts. I just need to take this to a judge. So they'll be able to decide for themselves which of us is a lousy person.
You're so full of it. Texts and messages don't prove anything. There's something else that you think gives you the confidence. You're acting too smug. What is going on? You already knew, right? How long have you known that I've been seeing Lisa?
Are you really that silly? I know about her because you just told me. Thank you for volunteering her name, by the way. I'm glad I didn't even have to ask for it. That makes things easier.
Wait a second. No, that's not her name. It's just a nickname I give to her.
Okay, I'm just kidding. I've known for the past 2 years that you were seeing someone. It started about the time I started working from home, am I right?
What? How did you know that?
There's no point in getting defensive or embarrassed now. Now that it's all out there. All that matters is what happens next. I'll go straight to the point. You don't want to spend months of your life in court, right? So then we'll need to come to an agreement about alimony.
Alimony? But why you just went on and on about how you make enough to live on your own?
I do make enough, but I'm not the one that uprooted both their lives because I couldn't keep it in my pants. I'm willing to agree to a lump sum of $45,000 from you.
What? Are you being serious? 45,000? Are you insane?
I had a feeling that's what you would say. So I guess I'll see you in court. No, it's not happening. You will be gone by the end of the day if I have to throw your stuff out of my house. Since it's your fault that I have to move in the first place, it's only fair that you agree to this. I'm not going to live on the streets just because you couldn't keep it in your pants. I have no problem with the divorce, but finding a new apartment takes time. You can afford to agree to few weeks. It's not like the baby will be born tomorrow. In case you can't swallow your pride and agree to give me time to find a new place to live, I will make your life miserable. You think $45,000 is a lot? Let me know by 5 p.m. how you decide.
Why by 5 p.m.?
Because that's when the banks close. Remember the 45,000 we just talked about?
You want that today?
Of course. You want all this done as quickly as possible, right? That's why you're trying to kick me out by the end of the day. Oh, actually, I guess you could always wire the money to me rather than taking it out in cash. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. Once that's paid, we'll need to talk about division of property and assets.
What? You even want more?
I want what's fair, and I'm perfectly content to either negotiate with you directly or handle it through the courts. So how do you want to play this? It's your call. And your girlfriend works at the same company as you, right? Since she's pregnant, the sooner we make a clean break from each other the better. Don't you think people are gonna start wondering about your relationship soon?
All right. That's fine. Let's just settle this. How much do you think is fair?
Well, I'll take my car and you can keep yours, but I'm also entitled to half the house as well as what we've got in the bank.
What? You're gonna ruin me.
You've ruined yourself. You can buy out my half of the house for $300,000. Plus, 50,000 from savings and $45,000 in alimony. In total, $395,000. Not too bad, if I do say so. Didn't you hear that I have a child on the way? Well, let's make it an even $400,000 if you want to be difficult. Or we can go to court. I bet I get even more if we take it to court. You'll end up with my attorney fees as well.
Fine. I'll wire it to you, but then we're done with that money. There has to be some way that you can be out of the house by tonight.
All right, you're smart. I'll call some friends to see if I can stay somewhere while I find a new apartment. It shouldn't be a problem. I'll take the rest of the afternoon off from work so I can start packing. I'll have all my things packed and out of the house before dinner.
Wow, you really do that fast.
Are you surprised? I've known this day is coming for the past 2 years. And I prepared for it. I couldn't predict exactly when it would happen, but I had no doubt that it would happen eventually. Obviously, I didn't know she would be pregnant, but still now that it's finally here. This will all be over soon. Unless you have anything else to talk about, I'll see you later this evening. What's that? Hey Ethan. Stop ignoring me.
What? Why are you talking with me like that?
It really took you so long. You need to reply faster.
Okay, what do you want?
Are you ready to send me the last $45,000? You owe me that amount.
What? I don't owe you anything.
What are you talking about? You still owe me $45,000 in our agreement last month. You bought out my half of the house and gave me half of the savings, but you still owe $45,000. I mean $45,000 for the alimony. I haven't received it yet.
I did send you the money. I wired you all the money that you demanded. That should be enough to call it even. That's what I wanted to talk to you about.
I'm sorry. We agreed on $395,000 and I've only received $350,000. You still owe me $45,000.
What do you mean? You only received $350K? That is a lot of money. I don't think you're so greedy.
I agree it is a lot of money, but it's not the amount that we agreed on. Let me guess. You blew through the money so you could claim you don't have it. Actually, it doesn't matter. I don't have any evidence what happened. Frankly, I didn't care. The only thing that matters to me is that you pay it. If you like, I can contact your girlfriend and ask her to help you.
No, stop it. You have no business talking to her. This is between you and me.
You're getting awfully defensive about me talking to her. Is there something that you don't want me to say to her? If you don't want me talking to her and you refuse to pay the rest, I guess it's time to take the situation to attorneys.
Just be reasonable. We can settle this ourselves.
I don't think we can, and I'm tired of arguing with you about it.
Okay, fine. I will wire you now. Just step out of my life. Make sure you never contact me again.
Well, that's easy to threaten Ethan with the attorney. Now I get all the money I need. I have prepared for this situation, so I have no surprise about his girlfriend. At least, he's quite generous and give all the money due to out agreement. We haven't eaten and slept together for a long time. It's been nearly a divorce. But now I'm happy that I get out of that boring marriage. I'm rich and free now. It's so wonderful.
Hello. Your daughter just duped me with a bogus wedding fraud. She stole a lot of my money, and I'd like to get it back as soon as possible. We can settle this entire case without going to court for $100,000. Does that sound reasonable to you?
Hello? I apologize, but may I ask who I'm speaking to right now? I believe you have the wrong number.
Isn't this King's phone number? My name is Tom, and I was just taken advantage of by your daughter, Hebe. I apologize for contacting you so abruptly, but this is a very important situation that needs to be addressed as soon as possible.
Excuse me, but I'm not sure I understand all you're saying to me right now. I'm just a little confused because this is the first time I've heard of anything like this. So you're claiming that my tiny Hebe caused you all of this trouble?
Isn't that what I just said in my last message? With her little trick, she actually stole $300,000 from me. I'm thinking about going to the police station and filing a report. Is that what you want to happen? Do you want her detained?
Please wait a minute. Tom, are you really claiming that you had serious plans to marry my little Hebe before? But then she lied to you and stole $300,000 from you?
That is exactly what I am attempting to convey to you. I was so excited about our wedding until Hebe announced that she no longer wanted to marry me. And then she stole $300,000 from me and ran away.
Is that what my little angel did? I'm not sure what I'm reading right now. To think my own lovely innocent little cutie could do something like that.
I'm sure it's a lot to take in right now. I can't image any parent ever wanting to believe that their child committed such a heinous crime. But, ma'am, I'm afraid I have to tell you the truth right now. Your girl duped me by sending me a phony marriage proposal.
Did my darling, innocent little angel really do that? Do you have any proof that you and my Hebe ever had a relationship, Tom?
Of course, I have evidence. But, as you know, Hebe dislikes being photographed, so I don't have anything like that. I can, however, show you the messages in which we discussed our wedding arrangements.
I see. That's how it is. Could you please send me some of those screenshots if that's the case?
Unfortunately, those texts are saved on another phone that I don't have right now. As a result, I'm unable to show you them right now.
So there's no reason for me to believe you. When will you be able to provide me with proof?
Don't worry, I'll email them to you as soon as I can. By the way, I know you don't want to face the truth right now, but the fact is that your daughter is a criminal. Do you understand? And, unfortunately, I am the victim of that crime. As a result, I humbly request that you accept the situation as it is and cease doubting me.
Is that what I'm supposed to do? By the way, I'm wondering how you got my phone number in the first place.
Of course, your daughter gave it to me while we were dating.
But you say it's difficult for you to talk to Hebe right now? And why would she give you my phone number to begin with?
While we were dating, I asked her for it. Is it really important how I obtained your contact information? If you don't quit playing these little games, I'm going to call the cops.
Is that correct? So you're dead serious when you allege Hebe duped you and took your money in a wedding scam?
Yes, of course, I'm serious right now. Do you believe I could make a joke about something so serious?
I see. In that case, please allow me some time before responding. I just need some time to think things through.
How many times do I need to explain everything to you? Your daughter took my money through a little marriage fraud. Not only am I out all that money now, but I'm also left with a broken heart.
I get what you're saying.
Oh, and don't tell your husband about any of this, okay? If you do, I'll find out and report you to the police.
Huh? Wait. Why shouldn't my husband be aware of all of this? Actually, I was thinking of talking about it with him.
I just don't want this narrative to be made into something bigger than it is. Do you get what I'm saying?
I see. So, just hang on for a moment. I need to think about things before I message you again. Kane. I have some crucial news to share with you. Someone just contacted me in order to swindle me.
What? Are you sure?
I'm certain he's lying to gain money from us. After all, he insists that he was the victim of a marriage hoax performed by none other than Hebe.
What are you talking about? Hebe allegedly duped this guy? What about the wedding scam? Hebe?
Exactly. Can you believe our adorable little darling behaved like that?
Come on! Stop pulling my leg now! You know how much I despise these kinds of jokes.
But I'm going to tell you what occurred. It's not a joke. I received a message from a man named Tom earlier today.
That's intriguing because I have a teammate named Tom.
No way. So you know who I'm talking to right now?
And why on earth does that guy have your phone number? There's no reason he should have that kind of knowledge.
So don't bother asking me. He never asked for my phone number or anything like that?
No, he's never done anything like that before. It's all really bizarre. Wait a minute. I once walked into the office and unintentionally left my phone open on my desk while I went to the restroom. And I believe you texted me that you had just returned home when I was in the restroom.
Oh, I see. That has to be it. Are you pals with a Tom?
To be honest, we hardly ever talk. Really, I think he's a strange guy. And I've heard a lot of negative things about him at work.
I'm not kidding. That's insane. What kind of rumors are they?
Just that he frequents a lot of strip joints and casinos and the like. I've heard he's amassed a sizable gambling debt. And I've discovered money disappearing from my wallet on a couple occasions when we've gone out drinking.
Have you ever had money disappear from your wallet? As in, you were just having a couple too many beers with this guy when you were out?
No, that's not the case. I'm saying that I would go into a restaurant thinking I knew how much money I had in my wallet and would always leave with a lot less than I had predicted.
I completely get what you're saying, honey. If the Tom person is as horrible as you say and believe, it makes my text with him all the more strange. It's possible that I was speaking to someone with the same name. In any case, the individual I was speaking with earlier was a con artist attempting to defraud me.
Wait a second! You just given me a brilliant idea!
What is it?
Hey, I believe I've given you more than enough time to consider your options. So, are you going to give me the money I requested? If you don't want me to press charges, you'll have to pay me $100,000.
Right, let's take your money. It's only that it's not an amount I can just withdraw from the account without anyone noticing. So perhaps I can just hand it to you in person.
So, yes, I suppose doing it in person may work. So you're going to pay me the whole amount?
Of course, I haven't been able to discuss all of this with Hebe, but as you mentioned, I don't want this thing to grow any bigger than it has to. So I believe it is in everyone's best interests if I simply do as you say. In exchange, I'd like to meet you and talk with you in person if that's okay.
I see. Well, if that's how you want to approach things, I don't see why not. I'll send you a date and location as soon as possible. Are you sure you don't want to be late?
Yes, I fully understand. I only ask that we meet in a well-lit public place. I'm simply a little concerned because I'll be traveling alone to meet you and perform the handoff.
Don't worry about it. What do you think about meeting at a cafe?
Yes, I believe that will enough. I'll wait for your next communication about where and when we may meet.
Hey! What sort of stunt are you attempting to pull on me right now? Why didn't you bring your money to the cafe? That is not what we agreed to. You come back here right now and give me the money.
$100,000 isn't something you can just walk around with in public. And anyway, now that we've met, I'm not sure I want to pay you a single cent of what you're asking for.
What? What are you saying right now? How long are you going to keep playing these dumb little games? You come back here and give me that money, or your daughter will go to prison. Is that what you want to happen?
You're referring to my 3-year-old daughter? I believe you are wrong.
Wait! What are you saying? Is this another of your games?
A game? Not at all, I mean exactly what I said. My daughter is only 3 years old, so I'm not sure how she managed such an impressive marriage fraud.
Are you nuts or what? I went out with your daughter, Hebe. You'd best quit fooling me right now because I'm not going to fall for it.
That Hebe person you keep mentioning. That young lady is not my daughter. She is the household pet.
What is it? What exactly are you saying right now?
Do you believe you might have overheard my husband conversing with one of your coworkers? And you mistook Hebe for his daughter, when she's actually the Labrador retriever we keep at home. I'll grant you that she is the prettiest creature on the planet.
No. You're lying to me, aren't you? But your husband stated she was a lovely young lady. And everyone in the office agreed with him.
She is a stunning young lady. We do keep her fur well trimmed, and she has some very lovely traits for a dog, however. I think a pretty woman is always complimented, huh?
What?
Oh, don't tell me you're planning to marry our dog. And, to be honest, I've never met you while we've gone on walks together. But to think that my adorable little Hebe would marry a human. I just believe that kind of behavior wasn't allowed. And then to think that the little brat stole $300,000 of your money, I think it's a little much even for her.
No. There's been an error, and this isn't accurate. I'm telling you I dated your real daughter.
You're referring to my 3-year-old kid, right? Because Hebe is at the very least 5 years old. So she's probably the right age in dog years, but...
However, your hubby is quite elderly. Isn't your 3-year-old your youngest daughter?
No. My husband and I married despite our age differences. You've heard the expression, robbing the cradle. Although not nearly as horrible as you, if you insist on marrying our daughter. You didn't think I looked a little young when we first met?
Well, now that you bring it up. When you introduced yourself, I was taken aback by how young you were.
That's at least reassuring.
So the young lady in the photo your husband is continually staring at is.
That must be that photo of myself from years ago that he adores. Well, I say younger, but I think I'm still youthful in comparison. It's understandable that you made a mistake like that.
Wait. So why did you bother coming to meet me earlier? If you had known your daughter was never engaged to me all along, why have you traveled so far to meet me?
Oh, that? Of course, that was to gather evidence.
To gather what?
You heard me correctly. I had a little camera in one of the pockets of my bag, which I had brought to the cafe. And it was streaming whatever it saw to a computer in our house that my husband was watching. And when I stepped up to take my seat, you reached for my purse. So I activated the camera to see if you would grab anything from my luggage.
Are you serious?
Oh, I'm dead serious. And I finally have proof. We have video of you digging through my purse. And taking the money out of my wallet. Everything is on video, Tom.
You're lying. I know you are. Why would you do this to me? What did I ever do to you to deserve this?
Why did I do it? To catch a crook red-handed, of course. Also, I wanted to be sure that the criminal I was dealing with was indeed working for my husband.
Please wait a moment. Everything has been a tremendous misunderstanding. So you duped me. Even after I told you not to say anything to your husband.
Oh, and speaking of my husband, I believe he is on his way to see you right now. So, before everything blows up, you should try to explain things to your coworkers. I also wanted you to know that I've been screenshotting all of our discussions and will be turning everything over to the cops. So I believe you'll be arrested for attempted blackmail as well.
Just sit tight! Please! This is all wrong! You have completely misunderstood me! None of this is my fault! I was dating an escort who stole all of my money! And now I have nothing. I've had to take out a lot of debts.
An escort girlfriend? That sounds like there's far too much to unpack. But I don't see how any of that has anything to do with you and me. Or are you arguing that just because you were duped by someone, it's okay to dupe other people?
But this girl, she informed me that she would marry me if I could come up with $300,000 in cash. Despite the fact that she refuses to quit her work and is still sleeping with a slew of other men.
I don't care what's going on in your messed up love life. And you should avoid saying anything more that will make you appear even more pitiful than you already are.
You don't understand. After everything I've done for her, this is how she chooses to treat me. It's inexcusable.
Don't you realize that your girlfriend was only being kind to you because it was her job to be? You seem to have a horrible luck with these misconceptions, aren't you embarrassed? Anyway, good luck dealing with my husband and the rest of the office condemning you for what you've done. You may never recover from something like this, but I suppose that's what an idiot like you deserves. After that, my husband and some of his coworkers arrived at the cafe and were able to quickly give over Tom to the officers. This entire episode propagated around the office until everyone was aware of it. Of course, Tom was dismissed on the spot. Everything that happened to him was his responsibility because he made assumptions. And for the crime of attempting to defraud people of their hard-earned money, he was banished from society as his only proper punishment.
How are you feeling right now, Henry? Were you shocked by what we were doing together? Of course, you were. How could you not be? I bet you'll be traumatized for life from the scene you just stumbled into.
No, it's not Lucy. I just left there because I was disappointed in you. It would take a lot more than that to really shock me. Besides, I knew you were gonna be there from the beginning anyway. That's why I went out of my way to go home at this time. So I could catch you in the act along with him. I just wanted to see it with my own two eyes.
Oh. That makes a lot of sense now. I was thinking maybe you were finally catching on to what was actually going on. I thought today might be the day you finally figured it out and tried to confront me. But I also wondered how long it was going to take you to notice. You did come home earlier than usual today too. Turns out you really did plan this whole thing so you can burst in on us so you could finally feel better about your nagging little suspicions. That is so lame of you. I bet that small feeling of victory has passed now and you're feeling pretty terrible about finding out the truth. But anyway, that's unfortunate for you. Because I'm all ready to divorce you. I don't even care even though you saw us together. I was going to leave you for him sooner or later anyway. All you did was speed up the process for us. So actually, thank you for that. We are forever in your debt. I won't forget your sacrifice.
Well, that figures, I guess. Even though I caught you two red-handed, you have a real calm attitude about all of this. And you were clearly intentionally getting real dirty with him in front of me. You rub salt in the wound, Lucy. No doubt, you're really rotten to your core. I'm not sure how you managed to walk around without falling apart, the festering pile of garbage that you are. Not sure you even have enough empathy to be called a human.
Hey, that sounds a little bit harsh.
Well, the one you cheated on me with was your coworker, right? And his name is Korn.
Oh, you even know all that as well. You are indeed little stalker, Henry. Okay, if you know that much I'll tell you. We had been working with each other before officially dating.
Whatever, it's now my problem anymore.
How cold can you be? We are husband and wife, you know. Sworn to stay together for better or worse. Well, jokes aside, maybe that's only natural. You don't want a romantic novel-length story about the man who stole your wife off you, do you?
Well, honestly, not at all. How could I get interested about something so stupid and vapid? But anyway. When I saw it all happen in person today, it went a long way towards me making up my mind. So now I can just ask this favor of you without any hesitation whatsoever. Please divorce me as soon as you can.
Oh, where does such a sudden and strong conviction come from? Well, I can't say that I expected that from you. Perhaps you expected something different from our little conversation.
What do you mean by expecting something different, exactly?
Maybe you want me to beg you not to go or something like that. What a pity though, it wasn't all soppy and sentimental like you expected. The truth is, I was just itching to drop you as soon as I possibly could.
Oh, that's not what I expected at all. I'm not naive enough to think that someone who betrayed my trust would just roll over and one-sidedly apologize. But I must admit, I did think you were gonna maybe panic a little more. You seemed almost too calm for someone who was in your situation. You might even say that you looked so confident. It was as if you played that scenario of me catching you in your head beforehand.
Well, what a pity for you in that case. Well, looking back on it, maybe I didn't know you so well as I thought I did, after all. Well, these things can't be helped. Love is full of mysteries and surprises like this, isn't it? Because I fell in love with my dear Corn instead of you.
Yeah, I could tell. I wonder what gave it away.
I will divorce you, then marry him. Oh, it sure sucks to be you, Henry.
I don't really care.
What is it, Henry? Are you upset with me? I bet you're going through a whole relationship in your head, trying to figure out where it all went wrong, huh? The truth is, it was just never meant to be between the two of us.
No, I'm not mad at you.
You're putting on a tough act. You can barely hold back that floodgate full of tears, right? You scratch that. You probably actually are already crying. I can picture your scrunched up face right now. Your phone screen all drenched with your own tears. Well, I'm more than happy with getting that divorce. It's just a little bit earlier than planned is all, but it still suits me just fine to be honest. I've already filled in and signed the divorce papers ahead of time. All I need to do is to pick them up and sign them whenever you want.
You already have the paper signed and ready?
Of course, Henry. Come get them from me whenever you have the time for it. But today might not be the best day for you to come. I and Corn are busy with some stuffs. You might see the two of us together again.
Agreed with that. I don't want to see something so disgusting again.
Especially not twice in the same day. Excuse me? Who are you calling disgusting? Do you want to repeat what you just said to me?
I think you can work out who it was. This should be an elementary problem even for you. You and that guy are the only people I would be referring to right now. What I'm saying is, you're both disgusting creatures. From what you're both doing, to the way you think about this whole sickening affair, even your evil, dumb grinning faces, every single thing about you and him are completely and utterly nauseating and disgusting. All I ask is that you don't ever show that disgusting face in front of me. Ever again. Tell your lover the same thing for me, that would be great.
You're so annoying. You're making me so mad now. You always have to get the last word in like that, don't you? I'll bung all your stuff in a box and get it all the way to your parents' house.
You never seeks to amaze me, Lucy. How slow you are. All my things are no longer there at the house. Don't tell me that you didn't even notice that. Just how busy are the two of you holed up in that room? Never mind, you don't have to answer that. I would much rather not have to throw up where I am at the moment.
What? All your stuffs are with you already? So you don't need to come back for it anymore?
Right, Lucy. There's not a hint of remorse from you. You should hardly be surprised that I did that. Did you really think that I would just go crashing the crime scene without thinking up a single plan just in case my gut feelings were right? Well, you always have been short-sighted in your planning like that. I mean, it seems like you really didn't think through any of what you just did. You think that if you just get that divorce from me, everything will be done and dusted, don't you? That you can just ride off into the sunset in your honeymoon carriage, and the two of you will live happily forever after? Real life isn't so black and white, you know. Even if this was a fairy tale, a vile, wicked, petty witch like you would ever be the poor mistreated heroine.
But that's all? I literally just divorced you and get married to corn. It's not illegal to get divorced or cheat on your partner. What could possibly go wrong for us at this point?
But anyway, my point is, if you want things to go your way, you need more of a plan than just love. That's not the attitude of a person who just had a secret affair and betrayed her husband. Not even an attempt to apologize to me?
Why should I need to apologize? I told you already, didn't I? I was ready to get a divorce already. I don't need your forgiveness or your permission to marry him.
Look, Lucy. It doesn't matter at all if you were already planning for years to get a divorce or anything like that. Do you understand that you didn't simply just have an affair? You broke some major rules here if this marriage were a major sports match. You didn't just unintentionally accidentally step on the opponent's foot. You may as well have tried to pull out a knife and stab another player. In full view of the ref, the audience, and the cameras for the whole world to see.
Rules in a marriage? Are you my father, Henry? This is why I'm getting rid of you. Anyway, all is fair in love and war.
I mean, all I'm trying to say here is you're free to behave as idiotically and recklessly as you like, but you're taking some huge risks, so that means you have to be prepared to face some big consequences for you and him.
What on earth are you talking about? Did this shock of what you saw earlier send you stupid? What risk could you possibly be talking about here? You mean the risk of getting caught in the act of cheating? Like some perverted producer trying to do us dirty for some crass prank TV show? You sound like a petulant child trying to scare me with something so pointless. Interesting though, but that's a risk I can live with. It's already past anyway.
Are you being serious right now? You really think that's the risk I was talking about? Is me showing up suddenly such a huge risk that I would feel the need to warn you about it? Even though it's already happened and you don't have to worry about it in the future anymore, like I explained? I want you to really work those brain cells and think hard about this one before you answer.
What? Am I wrong about that? If not, what is this terrible risk that you warned me about? Why don't you stop prophesying in riddles though, and just spit out your great wisdom straight to me? Just get a divorce and it's all over between us, right? You even said yourself that you don't want to ever hear from me again, so even you seem to agree with me. Well, I guess my mom and dad would be pretty mad at me though. So I might get chewed out a bit, but that should really be it for me after that.
Okay, whatever. I think that's enough giving advice to my cheating wife who I'm soon divorcing anyway.
What? You're done already? But you still haven't answered my question.
You should really pay me if you're gonna keep consulting me like a lawyer. But we both know you're not about to hire me as your attorney. So with that said, let's end this pointless discussion and call it a day.
What do you mean pointless discussion?
Like I said, end of discussion.
This is getting too tiresome and repetitive. Only because you're just dancing around the issues. Just tell me directly.
I feel like an idiot for talking to you so seriously about this. You were never going to understand the point I was making anyway. But on the bright side, you will find out what I mean soon enough.
Hey, stop it. You're making a fool out of me, aren't you? See, this is exactly the kind of attitude of yours that really annoys me. There's no wonder why your woman is leaving you.
I have never once made a fool out of you. But today you have proved over and over again that you're plenty capable enough of making a ginormous fool out of yourself without any help from me whatsoever.
See, you just did it again. You made a fool out of me again. You know you just did, like all the times you did before. There's no denying it with your attitude and those words that clearly show how much you look down on me.
Lucy, are we done yet? That's enough lip from you.
Either way, I would be better off divorcing you than languishing in some loveless marriage anymore. I don't even want to be in anymore. You're the one who will lose in all of this. You might be making fun of me now, but I am the one who will have the last laugh.
Better off without me, huh? If divorcing me would only have upsides for you, that's all fine and well, isn't it? You might as well go ahead with the proceedings then, the sooner the better. So you'll be leaving the house pretty soon.
Why would I do that? Are you dumb or something? Why do I need to leave my own house?
That house is mine, Lucy. Did you seriously forget that I bought that property when I was single, before I met you? I bought it under my name, so I am the legal owner of that house you're squatting in right now.
Then hand the house over to me.
Quit screwing around to get out of there, you jerk. Besides, I was planning to sell that place soon anyway.
So what? I don't care about that. It would be a waste to sell that house to someone else. I'm fine if you would just give it to me instead, a stranger whom you don't owe anything to. Now that would work real good from my perspective.
Well, but that's just a complete lose situation for me. Why on earth would I waste my house on you? You don't have the right to decide. I'll be heading back to my parents' house soon. I'll stay there for a little while until this all blows over.
Do whatever, Henry. Don't you ever bother two of us though. You're a lonely single loser.
Anyway, it doesn't matter what you say or do at this point. Regardless of what you think, what I'm expecting will probably happen, exactly the way I think it will. I hope the two of you have a happy life together.
Yeah, I'm not so stupid that I can't detect sarcasm. Then goodbye, Henry. We probably never speak to each other again. Long time no see, Henry. You stingy excuse of a man who cried and claims compensation for emotional damages just because you were cheated on a little. I bet your life is just going perfect without me, isn't it? What are you doing right now? Hey, are you ignoring my texts? You're still not man enough to talk to me.
Who's this?
What? You deleted my number?
Oh, that's Lucy, right?
Yeah, it's me.
So what's wrong? What does this conversation mean? Do you really think I was insulting you somehow? I'm not sure what I did to badmouth you exactly. But there was no point in me being so polite or apologizing to you for insulting you.
You're really an awful guy. Do you think other people usually forget their ex-wife's phone number?
To be honest, I couldn't care less about you. That's how I forgot it was you all this time.
Oh, I've had enough of you. Anyway, I actually need to ask you this time. You still haven't submitted those divorce papers yet?
I have no idea what you're talking about, Lucy.
Don't play dumb, Henry. You know perfectly well what I mean. I'm talking about the divorce papers for the divorce between you and I. And you haven't formally submitted them to the city hall, have you?
I don't know why you feel the need to ask this question. I officially filed for divorce a long time ago. Didn't you get any of the letters from my lawyer?
Are you sure that isn't illegal?
What? I really still don't get what you're trying to get. It's like a return to a horror novel I put down years ago because I was too scared. You're honestly giving me the creeps.
Don't blame me just because you're the ignorant one, Henry. Don't tell me you really don't know such basic stuff. Divorce formalization is something that a married couple is required to go and submit together. You can't get a divorce finalized if it's only done by one person without the other.
Right, I'll come clean to you. I know the law well enough though. The reason why I put off formalization is that I need to handle my asset.
What? Apart from the old house, you have anything else?
Actually a big yes. I have saved up $1 million in the bank.
Really? How can you do that?
It's none of your business. And I have to change the owner of that money to my mom during our marriage. So that the official won't be suspicious of me. Or that means I don't need to list that money into paper. I don't want her to get a cent from me, on purpose or by accident.
Why don't you tell me that, Henry? I will never leave you.
Huh. Stop being a gold digger. So I've given the paper to the hall this morning. All you should do is to wait for the official inform.
You. Is that your all plan?
You don't need to know. By now. A few minutes after that unfortunate conversation, Lucy trudged off somewhere. Since then I haven't seen her in my sight. Thankfully I don't have a clue what she's doing now because she wanders around without a fixed address. No one seems to know anything about her or what she's doing anyway. Yeah, now that the money's sorted, I really couldn't care less about her anymore. Blocked her from my phone so I will probably never hear from her ever again. That would be just wonderful.